read it, because prose. When I got the train in Paris, the sun was just beginning to set and a pink glow tinged the carriage rosy. I closed my eyes as we moved out of the city, leaving the noise of the cars and people behind. The sun had tangled in my cheeks, matching my crimson-printed fingernails, and your hair was tinged with gold highlights. We danced our way over the hills and out of trees, stopping to kiss in the hedgerows and cover ourselves in thick honeysuckle scent. Me singing in high, shrill burst nightingales, and you laughing, adding a mellow bass undertone occasionally. The short hedges gave a wonderful view over the fields, and once a buck ran joyfully over after a doe, playing courtship in the evening light. We slowed to watch their progress out as far as we could see, and you placed one hand on my back, and I could feel your fingers pressing my skin. When there were little gaps in the green, our two long shadows stretched the whole width of the field for a little while, separate and simple, and then smoothing, blurring, and becoming one, forming new shapes and crisscrossing our bodies together. A little breeze picked up and blew dust from the road into our eyes. After a while, I grew tired, and we walked in silence, linking little fingers. When the road ended, we hopped over the stars and walked along the edges of the field where the grass fronds grew in different shapes and all taller than my hips, and it tickled the backs of my bare legs. You sometimes strode ahead, beating back the nettles with a stick, and sometimes I ran up in front to watch the sun disappear over the horizon, only to catch it a few moments later and see it hide again. When we got to the river, we lay down next to each other, and I felt the hard, warm ground against my back. The earth was hot from the day, but the grass was cool and damp with evening dew. You made us matching crowns of cowslips while I recited broken Keats to the reeds, my poetry punctuated by little plops of water bowls. You brushed out my hair around my head with your fingers, and, lioness, I broke in half a slightly squished brownie from my pocket. Time passed and it grew cooler, the light slowly dying. You wrapped your jacket around me and then around both of us. In the sky, the clouds sat flush against each other, glowing red and white and gold, and our hair and skin and lips strove to mimic them. When the sky finally made headway out across the pink and the clouds succumbed to the little blue dusk, we looked up from each other and listened to the sound of the river, making its gentle wave between the banks. I think I fell asleep because when I awoke, the train was slipping damply into King's Cross. The rain stopped pattering against the windows as the darkness was eaten up by the bright yellow light of the station signs. English jumped out at me, my brain supplying instructions and warnings without the need to think them, decoding naturally an instinct. As I grabbed my bag and stepped off the train, the last of the green prints faded on my legs, and I headed for the bus.